How is it going? And thank you for tuning in this video. Today I'll be discussing my experience at StocktonCon Summer as well as SacAnime Summer 2022. So let's go ahead and dive right into things. Now, the story about me going to StocktonCon is pretty straightforward. A few weeks ago, I was actually scrolling through my Instagram feed and an ad for it actually came up. And I decided, no, why not read the guests just out of curiosity? And two names stuck out. And I figured, you know what? Stockton's only about an hour away from me, give or take, depending on traffic. So why not? I got pops for these people, so why not go meet them? And of course, the two names that pop up to me were, of course, Dameon Clarke as well as Eric Vale. They are, of course, voice actors from Dragon Ball that played Cell and Trunks. So I was very excited to meet both of them. So I figured I was going to make a trip out there for it. And it was a two-day event that took place on October 13th and 14th, Saturday and Sunday. However, I only plan on going one day because I was like, you know, they're going to be there for both days. I don't need to go for both days, you know, especially if it's an hour drive there. So I was like, you know what? I'm only going to go on Sunday because Saturday would probably be more packed because it's Saturday. So if it's a two-day convention, I'll probably choose Sunday out of a Saturday most times, just if the people I want to meet are on that day, of course. So obviously they're gonna be there for both days, so I figured I'd be perfectly fine going on Sunday. So Sunday comes, we go, like I said, about an hour drive. We got there about an hour and a half after it opened because the event ran from 11 to 5, and we got there about 12:30. So very, like I said, easy drive there. Once we got there, there's pretty much no line to get in. There's probably like maybe 30 people in front of us to get in still. So we pretty much got through the line very, very quickly. And we went to the arena, and then we went immediately straight to the main floor, which consisted of all the booths with, you know, pretty much all the different vendors and all the artists and whatnot. So we pretty much did a circle around the floor to see what was there. And then we went to the main upper section because that's where all the guests were signing. So we went up there. I had my stuff in my bag up front for Eric Vale first, so I was planning on meeting him. We went up there, and of course we saw that his booth was empty. His stuff, he wasn't there, his stuff wasn't there, and we didn't really think anything of it at the time. We kind of thought, oh, maybe he's at lunch or something, or maybe he had to go somewhere, bathroom, I don't know. So we decided, you know what, how about I just go meet Dameon Clarke instead, because at the time there wasn't anyone in this line. But of course, by the time I went up there, because I had to rearrange my stuff to get the cell pops out, by the time I got my stuff out, there was someone talking to them, but they weren't even buying anything, they were just chit-chatting with them. So it was what it was. I had to wait a few minutes for that person to get done chit-chatting with them before I finally went up. And then eventually it was my turn. I went up there, told the person that was taking the money that I will get 2 pop signs as well as a picture with him. And of course, told him that, gave him my total, gave him the money, and then I gave him the pops to sign. And one thing that was a little irritating to me was, as he was signing my pops, I don't know if it was like a security guard, and I think someone that was like helping the guest out too. For some reason, they were like hanging around his table, and they were like chit-chatting to him as he was signing my pops. In my mind, I'm thinking like, hey man, this is my time with him, like fuck off. But it was only for like a few seconds. It wasn't very, very long. But in my mind though, I'm like, hey man, if he's signing my stuff, I have the right to talk to him while he's signing my stuff, not you. So I don't know, just a little thing to me. That was just a little irritating, but it didn't piss me off or anything. I was just like, come on, man, let me. I'm paying to meet this man. Like, you can sit there and talk to him all day. You're security. Like, I'm only gonna be here for like another minute or so. Like, come on. So after he was done with that brief exchange with the security guard, he finally gave me his attention. And in my mind, I didn't want to ask him any Dragon Ball related questions. And I've been listening to some interviews and panels he's done recently, and I know he's been talking about the boys. So I decided, you know what, let me ask him about the boys, because I thought maybe it'd be something that would engage a conversation. So I was like, you know what, I'll ask him about the boys. So I was like, hey, I heard you like the boys. What do you think about this most recent season? And at first he didn't hear me because he was like concentrating on signing the pops. And then he kind of looked up and was like, oh, what'd you say? And then I was like, oh, so do you like the boys? And he's like, yeah, of course, the show, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, of course, it's great. And I was like, oh yeah, did you like watch the most recent season? You know, like a dummy. I don't know why I'm asking somebody that likes the show. I've watched the most recent season that happened like 2 months ago. I don't know why, but I asked him if he's seen it, and he's like, oh, of course, it was fantastic, it was great. And I was like, oh, what'd you think of Soldier Boy? You know, I thought that his character is fantastic. I really enjoy his character. And he talked to me a little bit how he worked with Jason Eccles on Supernatural for a little bit. So I thought that was really cool. Talked a little bit like that. And that was pretty much the conversation. After that, he was done signing my pops, and then we took our picture, which I thought it was thoughtful of him because where the guests are at on the upper floor, the lighting is pretty much dimmed. It's very shitty lighting up there. So where he was at, it wasn't like dark, but I do appreciate the fact that he was willing to get up and like he kind of moved to an area where there was kind of more light in for a picture. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, took the picture. He, you know, thanked me for meeting him, shook my hand, asked me for my name, and I told him having a great day, told me the same thing. So very, very brief and great interaction, I thought, with Dameon Clarke. So yeah, very, very nice guy. Had a great interaction with him. And here, of course, are the 2 pops I got signed by Dameon Clarke, the first form Cell as well as Perfect Cell, both go in the darks. Of course, you can see his signatures on both pops right there. And he did sign the sides of them as well. Perfect cell, as you can see, it has Fight Me. And the first form cell, of course, says Now You Die. So very happy with the way both these signatures turned out. And very excited to add a signature to my Dragon Ball Funko Pop autograph collection. One thing though in my head that looking back on, and I mean, nothing came out of it. So like, this is probably me overthinking things. But I was like, man, I hope I didn't come across just like randomly talking about the boys, because the first time I asked him, I was like, oh, I heard you like the boys, you know? So like I was trying to engage like his interest as well. But since he didn't hear me the first time, the second time I kind of just like directly asked him like, you like the boys? Like I just, in my mind, like looking back, I just came across like I was just randomly asking about the boys and just engaging in something that had nothing to do with him whatsoever, instead of talking to him about something he's done. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably just overthinking that. He probably didn't think of it that way at all, but that's just one thing I kind of wish I can go back and kind of change, but it is what it is. What can you do? But I still had a great interaction with him, so I'm not going to complain at all. So after that, my girlfriend and I decided to take a seat down by the bleachers, because we're just like, you know what? We kind of walked around and let's just take a seat for a minute to kind of catch a breather and just, you know, just take a moment to sit down and relax. And for some reason, like, I had that sixth sense where I was like, you know what? I should check StocktonCon's pages just to see, you know, for some reason. I just had that sixth sense, like something like involving me or something involving this event happened that it's going to concern me for some reason. So I was like, you know what? Let me check. And I checked their Facebook, because their Facebook is where they've been more up to date on. So I checked that. And of course, I see on Facebook that they announced that Sunday session that Eric Vale will not be attending because that morning he tested positive for COVID. When I read that, I just kind of like laughed and just like put my head down, because I was like, of course. First and foremost, I hope Eric Vale is completely okay. I'm sure by the time this video is up, he'll be 100% fine again, but I do hope he recovers 100% and that he's okay. But in terms of, for a fan perspective, like I said, I was just like, I wasn't even mad, because obviously it's like he tested positive for COVID. I'm not gonna be mad at somebody for tested positive. It's just more of like, I'm sad and disappointed, because I was really looking forward to it. And now that wasn't happening, I was just like, oh, he was literally half the reason why I came there. So I was just sitting there laughing, putting my head down. My girlfriend was like, whoa, what's up? And I showed her, and she was like, really? I was like, yeah. What can you do? So we just kind of laughed it off, because like we can't do anything about it, you know. And of course, it was the one day I chose to go to. It was a 2-day convention. He was there on Saturday, but of course Saturday, like I said, I didn't want to go because I figured it'd be more packed and busy. And yeah, it is what it is. What can you do? I know Eric Vale, he'll probably be in the area sometime soon again, probably within the next year. So I'm not too concerned. I know I'll have another opportunity to meet him, but I was just really looking forward to it. So it just sucked, that's all. These were the pops I was planning on getting signed by him, were these 4, all different looks of trunks. So that's why I want to get these 4 signed. So, in hindsight, and, you know, looking at the positive, I did save a lot of money, because it would have been pretty pricey to meet him, get all 4 of these signed as well, get a picture of them. So, look at the positive, I saved a lot of money by not meeting him. But like I said, it was just disappointing not to be able to meet him. So after that, we decided to roam around, because, you know, we pretty much accomplished everything we're there for. So we had free time to go around and see what other guests were available and see, you know, what the booths were offering. And as we're looking through the guests, we actually came across a voice actress for Kuromi in the 2020 Hello Kitty. I'm honestly not completely too sure what it all is. My girlfriend's the one that knows all that information. I just know that was what she was from. We came across that, we realized that she was a voice actress for Kuromi. My girlfriend loves Melody, Kuromi, all of them. So we decided, why not go meet her? And especially considering that my girlfriend saw a really cute print that she wanted. So this was a print right here. Of course, there's Kuromi, and I think this character's name is Cinnamoroll. I could be wrong. Like I said, my girlfriend knows all that stuff, not me. But yeah, we saw this 3D print on the table, and she thought it was really cute, and we was like, you know, why not just meet her? So we did that. There is her signature right there in pink to my girlfriend. So that is what we got signed by her, and she was really nice. I know her name was Jenny. I forgot her last name on top of my head, but I'll put her name and everything in the video. But she was very sweet. She was very nice. Well, I'm not gonna say we, my girlfriend mainly, had a great conversation with her. She actually talked about how the voice actress for My Melody in that series was actually her real life best friend. So it was a great little conversation. It was very nice meeting her. She was very, very nice. And we had a great time meeting her. Then after that, we went back to the main floor, kind of looked around. My girlfriend ended up buying a Luna plushie, which was very, very cute. Pretty much we're done, walked the floor. We did get 3 more things. Came across one of those custom Lego booths people, and of course they always have deals for them, and it was 3 for $10. and the ones they had were actually very detailed and really good looking. So of course we came across 3 we liked. We actually found some more, but we just stuck to 3 because, well, 2 are for me, 1's for her. But one I got was, of course, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. It's hard to see, but his face does have details. Sorry for the lighting, can't really tell the greatest. But yeah, it's pretty much Cell Saga, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Don't know why he has a sword, but of course he has a Dragon Ball, 4-star Dragon Ball, of course. And it just looks great. It looks greatly detailed, and I just had to have it. And in addition to Gohan, I got Goku as a kid. This one looks absolutely fantastic. He's got a power pole in his hand. He even has a freaking tail. He's smiling. I don't know if you can really tell because, like I said, the light, sorry, is kind of glaring off it, but very, very detailed, and these Legos look absolutely awesome. There was another Dragon Ball one, which was Super Saiyan Goku in his Yard Rat outfit, but I decided to pass on that one for this one because I thought this one just looks so much better, and like I said, even has a tail on it. So yeah, those were the 2 I got. And the third and final one was, of course, I believe Sailor Neptune, which actually was the voice actress we met back at SacAnime in April. So it's kind of funny. This is actually the only one they had, Sailor Moon, left. So kind of funny how that worked out. We went with the voice actress from the more recent dub of Sailor Moon for Sailor Neptune back in April, and now we have her Legos. So funny how that worked out. But yeah, that was everything we got at StocktonCon, as well as the things I got signed. Like I said, a little disappointment assignment about Eric Vale, but like I said, all the best to him. And overall, very, very happy with the way StocktonCon went. Now, we're going back to this past celebrated weekend for SacAnime Summer 2022. Let's go ahead and start off on Friday, which I'm not going to lie, I had a little bit of a rocky start on Friday. As soon as we got there, it was a little bit confusing because they changed the format from last year. Last year, they had the main room, which was like for the vendors and artists, stuff like that, was in one building, and on the other side of the building, in a different room where the guests were going to be signing and stuff like that. Wasn't the case this year. I assumed it was gonna be like that this year, so as soon as we got there, I went to like the other side of the building. Then I realized it was all like kind of blocked off. So I'm like, all right, where the hell are the guests gonna be and everything? So we ended up going back inside. We asked, where the guests are at, and they're like, oh, they're inside there as well. So in the inside where the vendors are at, they actually expanded the room because I guess the convention center that was being held in had some renovations over the past year or whatever. So they actually expanded the room like twice its size, and pretty much the other half of that room were for the guests and the other half were for like the vendors and whatnot. So very, very confusing. There wasn't really any clarification, or at least that I saw on the maps or anything like that. So I don't know. I guess it was kind of on me to first assuming it was the same instead of just like asking and seeing beforehand, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we found our way to the guests, so it's all end up mattering. We ended up getting there. We actually got there a little, I want to say, past 2 o'clock. It was still like in the early afternoon by the time we got there for SacAnime, so it wasn't late or anything like that. And speaking of SacAnime, I just want to mention this was this year's wristband for the weekend. Bright pink. Last year, I think it was blue. Thought I'd show that since, it was part of SacAnime, the wristbands I had to wear all weekend. Obviously, I haven't took mine off yet, so we finally got there around, like I said, probably like 2:30ish, and we go straight to the guests once we figure out where they're at. And I will say this, all of the guest lines, because I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot of huge names. Obviously, the 2 names I was there for were Sean Schemmel and Christopher Sabat. Those are the 2 names I definitely wanted to go after, but there were a lot of other fantastic names as well. Like, majority of the Naruto cast were there, which if I was still Naruto, I would have went absolutely apeshit for. Like me, 15 years ago, would have went absolutely crazy for all the Naruto guests there, especially for the voice of Naruto and Sasuke, both of them being there. I definitely would have lost my shit for both of them. But a lot of the Pokemon cast was there as well. Tara Strong was a big name that was there. That just continuously had a massive line. So there were a lot of good names. Charles Martinet, another big name, voice of Mario and Luigi. Of course, he was in Dragon Ball Superhero as Magenta. So a lot of big names were actually at this con. So a lot of the lines were very full a lot of times. And I'll say this, those lines, the securities, whoever's in charge of those lines, they were on power trips, especially on Sunday. I don't know what the hell was up on Sunday, but they were all just like on power trips. But Friday, experienced a little bit of that, but I'll get to that later on more when I get to the guest portions of it. But we finally get there. The plan for me personally was first to go to Christopher Sabat's line, but his line was absolutely capped. No one was able to get into it, and it was already capped off for his next session. He wasn't even signing currently at that time. It was capped off for his next signing because I was trying to make it in time for his current session, but because we were running a little bit late and, it took some time to figure out where they're even at, it just wasn't able to mesh up in time with that current signing. So I had to wait for his later signing. So in waiting in that, I figured why not just go with Sean Schemmel's line, because I wanted to meet both of them that day anyways. I had all my stuff. I had a big bag. Yeah, this big old thing right here. This entire thing was filled to the brim, carrying that around all Friday. So yeah, I had a bunch of stuff, so I definitely wanted to get it all signed that day, so that way I didn't have to bring anything else the next few days, or the last 2 days for the con, I should say. So I wanted to get everything done that day, so I decided to go into Sean Schemmel's line. No problem at all in terms of waiting. I think the wait wasn't fairly even that long in line. I want to say no more than 30 minutes. At least it felt like that. I will say, especially on Sunday, for whatever reason, I felt like waiting in line just flew right by. And it kind of happened on Friday as well. So I feel like the wait really wasn't there. Maybe just more because I was excited again, because I did meet Sean Schemmel twice last year. I met him on Friday for SacAnime, and I met him on the Sunday for SacAnime as well. So I already met him twice, but I had more stuff, and I wanted to get some stuff co-signed by him and Christopher Sabat as well on some pieces. So I definitely wanted to meet him again for that purpose. I was very excited to meet Sean Schemmel again. This time I actually had something in my mind that I was going to bring up, because I've been watching some old interviews he's been doing, and I thought it's something that maybe he hasn't heard of, or at least hasn't been asked about. I was kind of excited that aspect, because I thought maybe I had something good to ask him. So just very, very excited. And finally is my turn after waiting, like I said, for probably no more than 30 minutes. Gave him my stuff. I told him that, hey, I got 7 things for you to sign. And he's like, 7? Wow, thank you for your generosity. So right from the get-go, very humble, which I noticed that last year. He's a very humble guy, and he continues to show it. So nothing but respect and great things to say about Sean Schemmel personally, that when I met him. So great experience. And honestly, I will say meeting him this time was probably the best time I've had meeting him, because right off the bat, as he's signing my stuff, which I'll show after I tell the interaction we have, because there's no specific order to stuff he signed. He kind of was just signing them randomly, so I'll show those after the story. Right at the get-go, I ask him, I say, I got one question for you. Now, I know you mentioned, the story you've told before about, has these tapes about, his friends say about the day he became funny. There's this tape where, Be Funny with Sean Schemmel, and a tape that's called, The Day Sean Schemmel Became Funny. So I brought that up to him, like, oh, do you remember that? He's like, oh yeah, of course. At first I took him like a minute to think about it. Then he's like, oh, because, probably because no one ever mentions that rarely to him. So, and he mentioned it in an interview, so that's why I brought it up. And I told him that, I was like, okay, speaking of that, so I asked him, I said, so in your mind, do you think we're in the episode where Goku had to make King Kai laugh to train with him? Would you consider that the day Goku became funny? And he popped huge for it. He thought that was hilarious. He was laughing big time. He's like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I guess I would make it the day Goku became funny. So I was very pleased that he got such a great reaction out of that question and me asking that. So I was very happy with that, and that led into even more of a conversation. Somehow, honestly, I don't remember if maybe there's something in the middle of it, but somehow the conversation sprung about food in Japan, about how they market Dragon Ball stuff with it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why they don't market food stuff in here like they do in Japan. When Superhero came out, they came out with Oreos with Dragon Ball packaging on it, and I started talking about that with him, and that led to him mentioning about how on the orange carpet for the Superhero premiere, he talked about how he had Oreos. And I'm like, yeah, I watched that interview you did where you just poured the Oreos out, and he was talking about how he took 2 of them, took 2 of the taps off, and made like a super Oreo and ate one. Then he gave the rest to Zach Aguilar. So just all in all, a fantastic interaction with him. Actually got a pretty good amount of time too, because when he was talking about the Oreo stuff on the orange carpet, he was just rambling on to me for a little bit while. So I had a good, I want to say 2 or 3 minutes with him, honestly. So just a fantastic interaction with Sean Schemmel. Like I said, probably my favorite one I've had with him so far. So yeah, like I said, nothing but great things to talk about with Sean Schemmel. I didn't get a picture with him this time around because he was wearing a mask, and I have nothing against him doing it, but to me it's just like, if I'm gonna get another picture with you, I'd rather without the mask, because that way I've already had 2 pictures with you with a mask on. I just would rather, if I'm gonna get an updated one, you know, it just be one without it. That way, it's like, you know, we're maskless. So, like I said, totally respect it, and I'm nothing against him preferring to wear it. But if like I said, for me personally, if I wanted to get another picture, I would have preferred him to not have the mask on. So, going into stuff I got signed now, like I said, nothing in particular order. I'm just gonna go ahead and just randomly show you the stuff that I got signed by him. So, I went ahead and got the Super Saiyan God San Diego Comic-Con 2020 exclusive signed by him. Looked absolutely fantastic. Originally in my head I assumed he was going to sign it in red, but he explained to me that, you know, in red it actually blends in with the pop, so it's kind of harder to see it in the red, so that's why I signed it in yellow, and honestly it looks fantastic signed in yellow. So I got this signed because honestly this is my favorite Goku pop. Just this pop in general looks so awesome with the fire and everything. Just look at it right there, like you can see how awesome the pop looks. So that was definitely one of the ones I really want to get signed by him. Preceding that, I got Goku Black signed right there. As you can see, he signed it in black, and it actually looks really good in person. I know it's kind of, actually you can see it pretty well in camera. Actually, it doesn't look like it blends in or anything. It actually looks really nice onto the pop, so it doesn't really blend in that much. But yeah, signed Goku Black in black. It looks absolutely fantastic. This looks fantastic with the Goku Black Rose I got signed last year in pink. So yeah, really happy with this one. Like I said, the black looks really nice. Yeah, even there you go, that angle right there, you can really see how well it looks on the pop. So yeah, I was able to get my Goku Black pop signed. Next, I got the Goku at the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament pop signed. Of course, this is the look Goku had at the end of Dragon Ball Z. So, considering this is, you know, a different look from Goku that he normally wears, obviously wears the orange, and then in GT kind of changes the pants for the most part. But considering this is like the only completely different Goku look pop we have, and like I said, this is the end of Z Goku. You know, this is the end of Dragon Ball Z. So, I don't know. It was different pop, and it was different style Goku, and I thought, why not get it signed? I think the white looks fantastic in it, and I'm very happy with it. And the final singles item I got signed by Sean was the Super Saiyan 2, even though it says Super Saiyan with energy, it's Super Saiyan 2 Goku Chase signed. I thought it looked fantastic because, spoiler alert, I do have the Super Saiyan 2 Chase Vegeta that I got signed, so I wanted to put these two together. Thought they look very nice, and he signed it in green. Looks very, very cool. So yeah, I thought it looked absolutely awesome. Now the rest of the items I will be showing are kind of spoiler items that I got signed by Christopher Sabat as well, so I'll just be showing them here. I won't be showing them as well as the stuff I got signed by Christopher Sabat. So one of the things I got them co-signed were the Vegeta pop right here. As you can see, you got Sean Schemmel's signature up top, and then you got Christopher Sabat's signature right here. I got the regular Vegeta signed because he's in the pose where, you know, he just fuses and he goes, "All right, all right." Going back and forth on this one or the Super Saiyan Vegeta pop, because he's like in that one he's flying, but he's kind of in a basic pose that they have him in the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan pop as well. So I don't know, I think the fact that he's in the, like I said, all right pose, I think that's what sold me more for the regular look Vegeta more than anything. So yeah, got both of them signed like I said right there, which honestly I kind of wish they would have reversed the colors. I kind of wish Sean would have signed in orange and Vegeta, not Vegeta, Chris would have signed in blue, because I mean, I know Goku wears orange and blue, but considering Vegeta wears blue and Goku wears, you know, mainly orange, it would have made more sense for it to be reversed. But I think it looks great either way. I'm glad they signed separate colors, and it still looks fantastic. And following that, we have the 2-pack right here from, of course, Dragon Ball Super, the baseball episode. You have Goku right there as well as Vegeta. As you can see, Christopher Sabat signed son of a AB at the top of his signature. Sean Schemmel just signed his Goku like he always does. Funny story with Christopher Sabat on his end when I met him, so I'll go into detail about that story once I go into details about meeting him. But yeah, very awesome. I was very excited to get this 2-pack signed, and I think it looks fantastic. And the final item I got signed by both men were the full-colored Saiyan arc of Goku versus Vegeta. As you can see right there, I got Sean Schemmel's signature as well as Christopher Sabat. Honestly, originally I was going to plan on just getting Sean to sign the front, and I was going to have Sabat sign the back of it because Vegeta's right there. But I'm like, you know what? It'd be kind of dumb to have a signature in the front and the back. I'd rather have them both be in the front. That way I can display it in the front like that. So, and like I said, this whole Saiyan arc colored one is just Goku versus Vegeta pretty much. So that's why I want to get this one signed, and it looks great. So very happy to have gotten all those pieces signed by both of them. So after we met Sean Schemmel, we were going to try and get into Christopher Sabat's line, but it was still cut off. They weren't letting anybody in. They were only going to start letting people in once the line started moving. But to be perfectly honest, everyone were just vultures. Everyone was just surrounding the area, but then security is making a fuss by people standing around. So the security patrol of Christopher Sabat's line, he pretty much told everybody, like, hey, if you want in, just circle around, and then, you know, I'll let people in one by one once the line starts moving. And that was kind of ridiculous because people are doing that, but then more security would come and be like, hey, you can't be around here, you got to disband. But so people are pretty much just doing laps going back and forth around the entire signing area around Christopher Sabat. So it was just ridiculous. You were just having one security say one thing, you got security saying another thing. It was just a clusterfuck of things. So it was what it was. But at some point, we were like, you know what? Let's go see Kate Higgins' line, because Kate Higgins, who did the voice of Sailor Mercury in the Wiz dub of Sailor Moon, my girlfriend wanted to meet her for that reasoning. So we're looking forward to getting her line. Her line was relatively short after we met Sean Schemmel, so we decided to jump in that one. And yeah, it was only a few people in front of us. We got eventually to her. Very nice interaction. She was very sweet, and it was a very great experience for my girlfriend meeting her. And in a way, like I said, back to my Naruto days, because Kate Higgins actually voiced Sakura. So if I was still into Naruto, I probably would have, been hyped to meet her as well. But I was kind of just standing around waiting for her, my girlfriend, to meet her. So it was a great experience. She got a nice 8x10 signed by her from Sailor Mercury. So it was great, a little experience we had meeting her. Then proceeding that, we're able to make our way back to the Christopher Sabat line. It was moving, but at that point, the security was just kind of nitpicking who was going in and out. So we were just pretty much circling that area like a vulture. And it got to the point where the security was trying to, I'll give him credit, because he was trying to keep track of people he recognized that were trying to get in line. So he was picking people that were waiting to like, hey, you come over here, you can get in line now. So that's what kind of happened to us. At one point, he finally picked us out because he saw we were walking around for a while. So we finally got in Christopher Sabat's line, but at the same time, he was that kind of randomly picking people that weren't even waiting. Like, I know there was somebody that literally just walked by, like, hey, you can get in line right now if you want. When there was literally people waiting, like, longer than we were walking around for. So it was hit and miss with the security in that line, but for the most part, I thought he did a decent job. But we finally got in the Christopher Sabat's line. Probably about 20 or 30 people after we eventually got let in, they officially shut his line off for that day. It was capped off because that was his final session for that signing. So we barely made the cut for that line. So I was very, very happy about that. We waited. And it finally, I want to say, when we finished meeting him, it was probably like 15 minutes left of the convention, because the convention went to 7 o'clock, and we probably got done meeting him around, like I said, 15 minutes prior to that, 6:45-ish, I want to say then. So yeah, and I think his final session, he was signing at 5. So I probably got in line probably a little after 5:30, I want to say. I finally got in the line. So actually, we weren't in line that long now I think about it. I think it was more waiting to get into the line that was longer than anything else. Finally, we got in the line, finally got through to it. So eventually it was our turn to meet Chris Sabat, and I was very, very happy to meet him. And yeah, another great experience. Chris Sabat, fantastic dude. I had a great time meeting him. He was very, very welcoming and meeting you, and he was just very fun and interactive with me as well. He was very talkative to everybody, and he was trying to make sure everyone had a great experience meeting him, and I definitely did. I didn't really have much to say to him, so he was kind of just like randomly asking like how I was doing. And then actually, when he was signing this pop right here, he was actually talking about how he was kind of surprised that he's seen so many of these today. He's like, I don't know what it is, but I have not seen as many as these as I have today than ever, So I guess he was just signing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these that day. So he was just talking about how he was just signing these like no tomorrow. So he just was wondering what the craze about that 2-pack was, but obviously it's because both of them were in it. Everyone probably wanted to get both of them signed. So he was just going on about, he just was just kind of blown away that he was signing so many of those today. And he actually kind of randomly talked about how he wished they'd make a 2-pack of Goku and Piccolo in the driving exam. Like, he'd wish they make like a big moments where you have like the 2 cars next to each other. And like, honestly, Funko could, with the big old boxes they make for the 10 inches, they easily could make like a big pop ride moment with Goku and Piccolo racing in their driving exam. I mean, they just came out with the driving exam pops not that long ago. I know Goku just came out with the San Diego Comic-Con. They just came out the Goku pop, and I know FYE has their exclusive for the Piccolo one. So I think making a moments one with them driving like a big old box, I mean, come on, they did that big old box for the Millennium Falcon, with Han Solo. So why not do it with Goku and Piccolo? He was talking about how he wishes they would make that into like a pops moment. So that'd be pretty cool, but I don't think that'd be something they'd ever do. But he he was going on how he thought that'd be something that'd be pretty cool of him to do. And then of course he asked me about if I like superhero. I went into it how I thought it was fantastic. I was talking about him, how I was very happy they finally did something with Piccolo after years of him doing nothing. He's like, I know it was about time. You know, I've been waiting years for Piccolo to kind of not be just a side character, but finally be, you know, an important character again. So he was very, very pleased about that. And all around, just a great interaction with Chris Sabat. Like I said, very down to earth, laid back, great guy that just wanted to make sure you had a great experience meeting him. So I already showed the pops that he signed with Sean Schemmel, as well as the book. I'll go ahead and show the single pops that got signed by him. Starting with Yamcha and Puar right here, as you can see, he signed with, what did he put? Cats Love Food. And he signed up top. And he did mention, he left the spacing down here because he did tell me that if I ever met the voice actor of Puar, which I don't remember if he mentioned the current one, because I know they switched the Puar voice actor for Super going forward, or I'm pretty sure that's who he meant compared to the person who used to be Puar. But he did mention that if I did meet that the voice actress that does Puar, that if I did meet her on here, I think that since he wrote that, I think what she usually writes in response to that is yeah, and then she puts her signature, so that's why he left that gap there. So in case I ever do meet her, I definitely had to get Yamcha signed by Chris. In addition to Yamcha, I got the New York Comic Con Piccolo sign right here. I think this is the best looking Piccolo pop in my opinion, which is why I got this one signed. It was a toss up between this one and the one where he's doing the special beam cannon with one arm chopped. I really went back and forth, but I really liked him in this pose, and he has a cape on and everything too, so I thought it was a better one to get signed. Unfortunately, you can kind of make out through the protector, but right here on the plastic in the front, I'm pretty sure I did this in the bag because I kind of had things kind of pressed kind of close together, so it's kind of more on me, because the front was completely fine, but the front did get pressed up a little bit, so there is kind of a little bit of an indent on the plastic, but it is what it is. It's nothing, you can't really make anything out that bad. You really only see it at an angle, so nothing to complain about, but I thought I'd go ahead and mention it. But yeah, he didn't you can see right there, more of a sleeping Piccolo quote. So yeah, looked really good in the pink. Not really pink, more of a magenta-ish color, I guess. But yeah, definitely was very happy to get this signed by Chris Sabat. And of course, I couldn't meet Chris Sabat without getting some Vegeta pop signs. So of course, the first one I got right here is the over 9,000, a Hot Topic exclusive where he's crushing the scouter because it's over 9,000. And of course, as right there at the top, he quotes, it's over 9,000. Very, very happy getting this one signed. Looks absolutely fantastic. And by far my favorite Vegeta pop. And proceeding, that would be my second favorite Vegeta pop, which is this NYCC 2019, I believe, exclusive Final Flash Vegeta. Looks absolutely fantastic. Signed Final Flash, and he put red streaks around to kind of do the Final Flash. Absolutely love it. Didn't really realize how much I loved how this looks signed with everything around it. So looks fantastic. And yeah, like I said, second behind the over 9,000 Vegeta. And preceding that, of course, we got Majin Vegeta signed here right before he sacrificed himself against Majin Buu. Of course, he signed it Saiyan Pride. Looks fantastic. Definitely could not get Majin Vegeta signed. So yeah, that was a must. And then, just like I said, with Sean Schemmel signing the Super Saiyan 2 Chase Goku, I had to get the Super Saiyan 2 Chase signed by Christopher Sabat. He signed it. This is Super Saiyan 2. And of course, there's a signature, so this will go very nice with the Sean Schemmel Goku Super Saiyan 2 pop. And yeah, I'm really happy he signed it. It's a different shade of a green, but I'm glad he kept it with the green scheme as well, because Sean Schemmel signed his green too. So yeah, very happy with this. And the final signature I got from Christopher Sabat at that session was the photo I got signed by Monica Real last year at SacAnime, which is this photo right here, dressed to me and my girlfriend. And I was able to get the Vegeta portion signed this year at SacAnime. Of course, he signed it to my girlfriend and I again, and he wrote my Bulma with an arrow pointing to Bulma, and of course, signature right there. So this completes this photo. Absolutely love it. I think it looks fantastic, signed by both of them, and I'm very happy that I was able to get both of them. And that was everything I got signed by Chris Sabat. And of course, after he signed everything for me, I took a photo with him, which he was taking selfies. He was literally taking everyone's phones and just snapping a bunch of selfies. And that's what he did with me. He literally snapped, 6 or 7 selfies with me. He was trying to do different poses, and like I think after half of them, I finally realized he was like doing different poses. So I was trying to do different poses with him, but as soon as I was trying to do poses with him, he was done with them. But yeah, I thought that was a fantastic touch of him to just not be like a person that just sits there for one photo. I like that he was willing to sit there and just be silly and take different photos with you like that. So yeah, Chris Sabat definitely was a fantastic dude to meet. I was very happy with the way my interaction came out with him, and yeah, that was a fantastic way to cap off Friday for SacAnime, because after that, like I said, there was like 15 minutes left of the convention, so we pretty much just left after that. That was it. We called it a day. And yeah, Friday, fantastic. Had a lot of fun. Friday in the books. Now, moving on to Saturday, it was more of a chill day because it was just so packed. There really just wasn't much to do. Like, even when you went into the vendors, you couldn't really stop to look at anything because everything was so crowded. You had to keep moving. If you stopped, you pretty much blocked off everyone from walking around. So it was just very, very crowded on Saturday. Really didn't do too much. But we're mainly there because my girlfriend's friend was actually performing in one of the battles they were doing. So we're pretty much there to support her for the most part. And we watched that. It was fun. It was entertaining. And we pretty much just went off and we tried to get in line again for Christopher Sabat because I was indecisive. I decided I wanted to get one more thing signed by him. So I was trying to get in line for him again. But once again, the lines were just too damn long. There was no way to get into his line unless you were just circling. I mean, on Saturday, there was probably like 50 people circling around right in front of his line just trying to get in. So there was just no way I was going to get into the line unless I just wanted to circle for hours. So I was like, you know what, I'll try on Sunday. I'm not too worried about it. So on Saturday, we tried to get into Tara Strong's line because that was another celebrity my girlfriend wanted to meet that weekend because she wanted to get her Bubbles Pop signed. But same thing with her. Her line was just too long. It was constantly cut off and people were just constantly circling her. So there really wasn't much for us to do on Saturday because it was just too compact. But at one point, we did visit a booth and we did come across some things that I did buy, which were these Dragon Ball Ocean Bomb Sparkling Waters. These were the, obviously you can see this is the Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta, as well as Ultra Instinct Goku. I know there is a Super Saiyan Gohan that's in this line as well that go with them, but they only had these three. I saw them and I figured I'd go ahead and pick them up. My girlfriend originally was going to buy one for me, but me just just wanting everything, I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll get all of them because I just figured I'd just buy them all because I knew as soon as I walked away, I'd be like, you know what, I want the other ones as well. So that's just how I am, unfortunately. So I was able to get these three. I do have the other five where it's Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta, Goku, and Vegeta, as well as Trunks and Majin Buu. But like I said, Gohan is in this line as well. I do want to honestly drink these. I don't want to just keep them sealed. I do want to actually pop these open and see what they taste like. I know it's sparkling water and the flavors do seem pretty interesting. Like honestly, orange and vanilla, I'd drink those honestly, no problem. But I just don't want to open them and then like not like it and be like, man, I wish I would have kept them sealed then. So that's one thing that I don't want to do. But I don't know, if you'd like to see maybe a taste test video for one, if not all of these at some point in the future, let me know in the comments. But yeah, these were the only things I picked up during the con on Saturday. So after that, we pretty much called it a day and said, you know what, we'll make it back in the morning on Sunday because I want to try and get in Christopher Sabat's line again for the Sunday morning session because he was signing at 10:30. So I figured if I got there early, got there, I can get there no problem. And yeah, that was a thought process. And then we can try and meet Tara Strong at her 11 a.m. session as well. And so we thought that'd be the plan and be pretty easy. So we thought. Sunday rolls around, we get there just at 10:30, doors open at 10. We just, we're running a little late, so we got there at 10:30. We rush straight to the Christopher Sabat's line, and right when we get there, the line's capped off already. I'm like, oh shit, it's already capped off. But security goes, you know what, we can fit one more person. And of course, I'm with my girlfriend, right? And he's just like, one person only. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be a dick and leave my girlfriend. I'm like, well, maybe when the line opens up, she can just come back in and whatnot. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'd make a fuss at it. And she told me it was fine, and she was going to go check out Tara Strong's line anyways, because like I said, her session was at 11 a.m. It was 10:30, and so the line was probably already forming. So my girlfriend was trying to get in her line, but of course her line is capped off too, so she had to play the game of trying to sneak in. But yeah, going back to the power trips, the security at Christopher Sabat's line on Sunday, this dude was a complete power trip. Like, I don't know why when he let me in, like, there was room for one more person. Like, my girlfriend easily could have squeezed in with me. Like, it wasn't, like, I was at the end of the line. I was the very last person. But he's like, nope, one person only, one person only. And later on the line, because the two guys in front of me were together, one of the guys had to go to the bathroom. He's like, hey, do you mind if I go to the bathroom? My friend's right here to set my spot. He's like, nope, you get out of the line, you're out of the line. If you need your stuff signed, let your friend get it signed for you. So, for whatever reason, security at Chris Sabat's line, that dude was at a complete, total power fucking trip for whatever reason. So, don't know why. Even like people around, like if you were like trying to get a picture like at Chris Sabat right from afar, he literally was running up to people like, oh no, sorry, you can't do that. Like, this dude was just on a fucking power trip. And I guess from what my girlfriend was telling me, the same thing was apparently happening at Tara Strong's line. There was arguments from people with security because they weren't letting her in, and people were saying that they're in line and they weren't getting let in. So I don't know what it was, but apparently Sunday out of all days, like everyone in security thought they were like the Holy Grail or something. So don't know what was up over their heads, but yeah, they all seem like assholes for whatever reason. But yeah, I was in line for Chris Sabat, and I'm just gonna tell you a short story. I was in line for him for almost it was 3 hours. Actually, over 3 hours. Yeah, just to meet him again to get one thing signed because I was indecisive about it on Friday. Lesson learned, people. If you're indecisive about it, just do it or don't do it. Don't sit there and be like, I'll try it. If I don't do it, I'll do it the next day. Nope. Try and do it one go, because my thing is from now on is, you know what, even if there's a person signing multiple days at a convention I'm going to, if I'm going to meet them, I'm getting all my stuff I want signed in one shot. That's it. I'm not doing the two, I might go back to it again, because Chris Sabat's line was just crazy. Like, I understand because he does so many voices. I understand why his line was so massive constantly, but it was like just headache. And like I said, I didn't even wait that long the first time. So I literally almost doubled the time I waited on Sunday just for one thing too, man, just for one thing. So like I said, lesson learned, 100% on me. So, and to be fair, half an hour of that was because he took a lunch, because he actually went over his time signing. So he actually started at 10, so he started half hour early, and he took a break at 1, which he was actually supposed to, his second signing is actually supposed to start at 12:30. So he went on well past into his second signing. He never even took a break. So hats off to Chris Sabat for trying to, pull through it all and try to, get as many people signed as he could. So it was just all madness all around. I'm not blaming anybody. It's nobody's fault. It was just all madness. But yeah, I waited in line for 3 hours. I will say at least the two guys in front of me kept me entertained. It was what it was. And finally, eventually, I got to Chris Sabat. It was probably like almost 2 o'clock by the time I finally got up to him. So after 3.5 hours of waiting, I finally got up to him. And the one thing I got signed by Chris Sabat was, of course, the 10-inch Shenron pop right there. As you can see, he signed Speak Your Wish and signed it right there. I was very indecisive, and I thought it'd look really cool signed, and it does. I'm really glad I did get it signed. I just didn't like waiting the 3.5 hours in line. But I will say, those 3.5 hours did fly by. It did not feel like 3.5 hours, I will say. So for some reason, the hours flew by. But yeah, I just did not like wasting that much time waiting in line, especially when my girlfriend she only had to wander around for a little bit, but eventually she did get in the Tara Strong line and did meet Tara Strong, because she actually, this is how long I waited. She was able to get in the Tara Strong line like an hour after I got to Chris Sabat's line, and she was able to meet Tara Strong like maybe 5 minutes before I was finally able to meet Chris Sabat. Goes to show you how long I was in line for. So, but I was very happy. She was able to get her Bubbles Pop signed. She told me and showed me, and she was actually able to get a print signed for her friend as well. So she had a good experience meeting her. I guess Tara Strong was making a TikTok while she was meeting her as well, which I don't know if she's in it or anything, but I guess she was making a TikTok according to her while she was meeting her, which kind of, I guess, interfered with her experience a little bit, which, kind of sucked, but she wasn't mad about it or anything, so I'm kind of glad she still had a good experience meeting her. But we did that. After that, we finally got a chance to look around all the vendors, because, it was more cleared out, it was more spaced out because less people were there. But I will say, there's only 2 things I really saw that I liked print-wise, but unfortunately they were sold out. One of the prints, there was like a 3D version, like a 3D metallic version of it available that the person was selling, but it was 3 times the price, and honestly I just didn't feel comfortable paying 3 times the price for the print that I would have paid for the normal print. So and no offense to him, I understand completely. Like I said, it was probably expensive to make the print and everything as well, and it was a limited edition. He said it was only for that con, it was only 5 of them that he made, but like I said, I just personally didn't feel comfortable paying 3 times the price for that print. So unfortunately, the 2 things I did really like, they were not available at that moment I saw them anymore. So that's why I really didn't buy anything else outside of the drinks. For the most part, I just got everything signed. That's pretty much all I did this con this year. But like I said, all in all, it was a great experience. Even meeting Chris out the second time, I know I just made it seem like I just got signed, that was it. But the second time I met him, I just briefly kind of just sped over him real quick. I just pretty much kissed his ass. I pretty much just thanked them for all his years, of entertaining me. I told him that, he's been entertaining me for the last 21 years of my life. I'm 26, so he's been involved in my life since I've been 5 years old. So I'm just very appreciative and thankful for that. And he was very receptive of that, and he was just telling me that it's crazy that, seeing kids that grew up on Dragon Ball showing their kids that, and I told them, hey man, I'll reassure you, once I have kids, they're gonna grow up on Dragon Ball too as well, so they'll be very familiar with you once they grow up. So it was very brief but very good exchange I had with Chris Sabat for my second meeting with him to get this big boy signed. So pretty much roamed the floor for a good little while. I want to say probably about an hour or so we roamed around the vendor floor before we kind of finally realized that we're good looking around, because we really didn't see anything else that caught our eye or attention that much. And to be fair, even if there was other stuff that caught our eye, a lot of the stuff was kind of overpriced because obviously vendors mark things up. So we're just like, I could find that probably like on eBay or elsewhere cheaper for like toys wise and whatnot. So that's why I wasn't really too much in a hurry or much in a hassle to get anything. So like I said, kind of sucked those prints I wanted were out of stock, but it is what it is. I can probably find them, through those vendors, Instagram pages, through the shops and whatnot if they have them online. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, that was SacAnime, because like I said, after we looked around, and pretty much went home and called it a day, and that was the end of our weekend for SacAnime. Like I said, I had a fantastic time. Like Friday obviously was a highlight for me, meeting both Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat. Meeting those two was a fantastic experience. I'm very glad my girlfriend as well was able to meet Kate Higgins as well as Tara Strong. So we were both able to meet two people. We both had a great experience, and we both just had an incredible weekend. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next SacAnime. I mean, as of right now, there hasn't been any guests announced that I'm personally interested in, so we'll see. Maybe that'll change. Who knows? Only time will tell. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. Of course, till next time, I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the video.